Grace and peace. I'm gonna play a video. Somebody was asking me about this. I mentioned this yesterday, and they were asking me about this yesterday. I see a lot of that regular cult behavior at work. I don't know. It's gonna let me play some of this first. I'm gonna get into it. Somebody, and I appreciate everybody, and I appreciate everything that's happening. But there's a gentleman. He worked for one of these cult leaders. He worked for the feds. He running around. His people. He running around pulling up people private and they family information. Of course, I guess they got them government computers doing whatever and spreading it among his little clique. Folk just doing what they do. This is just really regular silly cult behavior. I got to get on my Dr. King. I seen the mountaintop stuff. Listen, whatever y'all they threaten they want to you. We gonna put you there and they threaten they want to kill me and all of this. They don't want me to use what's the thing they don't want me? They don't want me to use the name Israel. I ain't been putting Israel in the videos, whatever y'all want, but I'm telling y'all better not play with me. I'm telling y'all better not play with me. Act stupid if y'all want to. God is my protection. Act stupid if y'all want to, but it's regular cult behavior. They manipulating, twisting, trying to take your words, do whatever, just so you won't speak against the cult, just so you won't speak against the movement. Shout out to Pastor Richard Kelly, Richard Kelly. I'm gonna play his video. I'm gonna play his scholarly video. I wish they found Professor Katz. They dropping so much stuff. I wish they found Professor Katz. But let me play some of this right here because we were talking about racism and stuff, and we're gonna deal with skin doctrine. People are twisted and manipulated. You Bible, I tell you, there's a level of Bible believer out here that's extremely dangerous. There's a level of cult out here that's extremely dangerous. Let me play some of this because these people are, they're preaching. This is the doctrine that's being preached. We're holier. Y'all heard Nick Cannon, my Patreon people. Y'all heard the Nick Cannon video we were dealing with. And do me a favor, don't share them videos because some other stuff, the elders, then we brought up some other stuff, and the murdering cult is mad right now. Oh, I ain't worried about it. But the murdering cult is mad right now because they can't use this platform to propagate their nonsense. They hateful doctrine. They can't use the platform to do it. So it's beef now. Y'all don't know boy, listen, y'all like it, I love it. Y'all like it, I love it. Be careful, though. Be careful. Drop them funny videos and do what you want to do, but you better be careful. Boy, you fall. But don't get that thing put on your man. Don't get that thing put on your man. Y'all think y'all gonna just come up in here, threaten my life, and y'all gonna kill me? Boy, I'm telling y'all right now. God is my shield. Hey, God. We're gonna leave it at that. Let me play some of this video fair use, and then I'm gonna get into the right reverend doctor. No, that's his cousin, the bishop. The right reverend is the bishop. That's the bishop. That's the cousin. But I'm gonna play the other doctor. I hope tomorrow they'll drop where they get that other dude from. What's that guy named Professor Katz? I hope they drop him tomorrow. Fair use. Play with me if you want to. Here we go.
Where are you trying to get to? You want to ride? Come on.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I said today's my daughter's birthday. She turned 1.
Oh, really?
And I want to give her a cake. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hey, come here. I'll give you my credit card. Go get her a birthday cake with a #1 candle.
Let's see if they got any in there.
Okay. Oh, your baby just turned 1 today?
Yes.
Boy or girl?
A girl. You want to see her?
Yeah. Actually, we got a little surprise. So just give me a second. Awesome. Thank you, Officer Wilson.
Not a problem.
Oh, wow.
There's her cake.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can we say hi?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Can I give you a hug?
Uh-huh.
Hi, how are you? Oh, Oh, big hugs. Hi, Tiara. Is this your birthday? Yes. You're so cute. Hi. How are y'all doing today? Whoa. See, mine doesn't do that. Oh. There we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tara. Happy birthday to you. Yay.
Yeah, I just wanted
How you doing, man?
I just wanted to play a little bit of that. Some people asked me about it. I mentioned it yesterday. It's just crazy. We're gonna talk a little bit about race. Somebody asked me, matter of fact, somebody said, you can't tell us who we are. I said, yeah. What you getting offended about? Can't tell them folk that say they from the tribe of Shabazz. Y'all remember that long story Elijah Muhammad gave us back in the days? Can't tell them all science, temple, nothing. Y'all want to be everything but Africans. Y'all don't want to be Africans, and I understand. Okay, it's been a lot. There's been some hurtful things going on, but usually when you're involved in cults or various groups, hate groups, or for whatever reason, y'all say, listen, you can't tell Dan Calloway and them nothing. You can't tell the story from the tribe of Shabazz and all this stuff Elijah Muhammad gave us. You can't tell nobody nothing that's involved in a cult. Matter of fact, most cult leaders like to do the talking. They don't like to sit down and talk. They just don't like it, and this is just what it is. I understand that people are going to be offended, but I think my job is to share the truth. That's all it is, y'all. I know and the truth angers people. And when I historically know that I watched people in the past that have stood up for the truth, I know the end results. I know where this is going. I have a clear understanding, but what are we going to do? We have to fight the cults. We can't let the cults move on and teach these doctrines to our children. We just can't do it. This is what it is. This is what it is. Let me play a little bit of the Dr. Fair use.
Provoking episode on the term sub-Saharan and the whitewashing of ancient North Africa.
Yeah, so I just think we should sort of because this idea, this sort of continually trying to find this idea of separating out North Africa from sub-Saharan, as if the Sahara was the impermeable boundary that nobody could get through, is really a continually problematic type of argument, particularly since we have early texts that tell us that, right, Herodotus tells us that, he says the Ethiopians and the Garamantes are indigenous to North Africa, and that, of course, the Phoenicians and the Greeks are not. But he makes it very clear that people he called Ethiopians are indigenous to North Africa and Northwest Africa in particular, right? But they are not sub-Saharan. So I constantly, what is the obsession that people have with this idea of sub-Saharan, that whenever they ask any question, what they're trying to do is prove that sub-Saharan Africans aren't part of the ancient Mediterranean world, which we know is false. Not only do we know, of course, that people that we would call quote-unquote sub-Saharan Africans ruled Egypt before the Persians got there, among others, but that they have this continual culture that runs up and down the Nile. And we know from our ancient sources that they believed very firmly, and they interacted with what in the area that they called Libya, right? So ancient geography, Herodotus separates, there's a big geographic debate in the 5th century, right? So on the one hand, we have Hecataeus, who has his map of the world, and Herodotus seems to be addressing him and trying to correct him at various points in his history. But there's debate of whether there's one continent or two continents, whether everything west of the Nile is its own continent called Libya, or whether it's not. One of our ancient sources actually has Europe and North Africa as one continent. Yeah, because Libya is the name that he uses for everything west of Africa, essentially, is what Herodotus uses. But it's also used at some points for the entire continent of what we call Africa. Because remember, Africa is a Roman word. It's not a Greek word. They didn't call it Africa. But yeah, this idea that there's a natural impermeable boundary that starts at the Sahara Desert, and that there's no penetration, and that everybody who has quote unquote black skin is below that line historically, and everyone above that is somehow magically white, shows one, a real lack of knowledge of how space works and how geography functions and how mobility and movement in the ancient world functioned. It shows a very limited view of our ancient sources. Like I said, I think I said this in another clip. If you're going to live by Herodotus, you got to die by Herodotus too. And if you're going to cite Herodotus for evidence of one thing, then you have to accept the fact that Herodotus says that the black people, Ethiopians in our ancient parlance, Ethiopians really in our ancient parlance, are indigenous to North Africa. They're indigenous to Libya, which is his word for basically everything north of Sahara, because as far as he's concerned, south of the Sahara is uninhabitable, right? They believe that was an uninhabited region, uninhabited zone. Nobody lived there. It was too hot. So this is you have to understand that our ancient sources were very clear that in that northern part of Africa, that's where Ethiopians lived, were indigenous to. That means there were black people there, but also the people that we refer to now as either Nubians or Cushites. Those were also called Ethiopians by our Greek sources, and they were in Egypt, and they controlled Egypt for various times. And we actually have a lot of evidence, if you put Egypt into its African context in antiquity, its vision is not to the north, right? It looks to the Nile and to what we would call south, right? To the upper Nile, the upper Egypt. And in fact, the cult of Isis is actually integrated across the what we would consider the two separate kingdoms of Egypt and Nubia in antiquity, but their worship of Isis is almost identical, and they are integrated and looking to each other as early as the second millennium BCE. So we really just need to not think about this separation, which isn't even a modern separation, right? This idea of sub-Saharan is a modern racist trope. This idea of sub-Saharan is a...
All right, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. This is some of the comments down in the comment section. Y'all see what's going on here. I myself and a good bit of other individuals, sister said, an early dose of medicine from the white bottle. All right, you got dropping that medicine. A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say. I'm glad that was shared. But you notice something? I hope he shares some of that Constantine stuff and he get to share some of them sources on where that Santa Claus come from. And most importantly, we're waiting, Bishop. We're waiting, Pastor, for the Professor Richard Katz. That whole make-believe thing. Y'all think y'all gonna stop? So, matter of fact, I'm gonna use that term, Israel. I want y'all to step y'all game up. You notice something that they said that's real interesting. He mentioned, you notice what the white model that they're using. You notice that they mentioned the Ethiopians and the Cushites. Nobody ain't said nothing about no Israel white original man doctrine. Oh man, y'all was bothering me last night. Now they hit me. I'm turning off the comment section. Now they talking about Neanderthal doctrine. But where were the Israelites? How come this great source right here ain't mentioned near Israelites, but mention what Bereans stay talking about, them Cushites and them Ethiopians? Why is that? When we going back to the original, when we going way back? That's all I'm saying. When we going way back, y'all. Thank you. I thank you for sharing the source with me. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I tell y'all time and time again, stick with the source. Sources, leave the cult behavior alone. Leave all of that other nonsense alone. But if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. Shout out to Dante. He gonna drop a video later on. I'm still waiting for that. And y'all know I ain't even a Christmas tree person. Brown Dante, he ain't finna drop that Christmas tree. And then I got lined up in my slides. I got lined up my man Stephen Darby using that same. Let him drop that video. I bet y'all he ain't gonna drop that video about that tree and that primary resource he claimed he was using. Go back to Syria, Babylon. You can go back to the cross, wherever you want to go. He ain't gonna drop that video. When he dropped that video, 7 seconds later, I'm hitting that live button. I'm hitting that live, but I bet you ain't gonna do it. They're gonna try to do what cults do. You promised you was gonna drop that and put that work in, but he's gonna go somewhere else. He's gonna go somewhere else because they want to discredit. They want to discredit the channel. They don't want to talk, but we're gonna talk. But let's talk a little bit about the skin doctrine and how skin doctrine is actually it's actually all over. Where we from, it's all over the place. But it causes foolishness is a bad thing. Let me just say that right now. Foolishness is a bad thing, and we got foolishness everywhere. And because of foolishness, people are offended. Because of foolishness. So I'm going to show y'all something that we're going to get into sign that. Shut up, sign that. I'm going to pull something up because we got to explain how the skin doctrine is so prevalent. And this is just kind of an extension from what we were talking about in the group with the Patreon. But look at this. Brown, why? Brown, all I ask y'all is why? Just why do y'all do what y'all do? And why do y'all put it on TV? Why do y'all turn these cameras on? When those squares, when them Freemasons are having their rituals, they don't have their phones all out. You ordaining people, whatever you claim you want to do. A lot of this stuff don't go back to the 1st century. A lot of this stuff ain't Bible. Come on, y'all. We gotta behave a little bit better. Now look at this flesh right here. He's spanking the fatties. That slipped out right there. He's lashing them. It's some type of ordination. Everybody laying down. We only got a little snippet of it. But look who's getting spanked. Oh, what real man flesh ain't gonna like this right here? This is unto the Lord, I gather, because y'all could do anything in the name of that book, and the blind and the dumb, deaf, and blind gonna follow it. Now, this isn't all of Christianity, but somebody's running around here with some crazy behavior. He almost fell on that one. Slap that thing. I'm not dealing with y'all. This is how come you gotta be careful with these religious people. You got to be careful with these religious people because they'll have you doing anything. They'll be running around here spanking you and other folk watching it and singing to God. I'm telling y'all. I'm just y'all just got to pray for me. It's a whole bunch of nope. You saw it, sis. You saw what and nobody is making this up. Y'all seeing this. Y'all seeing it for what it is. This is the stuff that they give y'all. And because of this behavior, we got stuff like this going on. Because of this behavior, and people are seeing it. Y'all proud. Y'all putting it online. Y'all look at my church. Look at my anointing, because this is anointed man of God behavior. And then y'all want to know why folk feel some type of way. Come on. Somebody said fornication. Somebody said play it again. I hate these people. My man said play that one more again. This is craziness. But this is what we into right here. Let me just show y'all what, and it's hurtful. I'm showing you this stuff, but at the same time, I can't lie. It's real hurtful. Look at this.
First problem that I can solve with my bare hands. But
Excuse the language.
My Bible. I bought it with my own money when I was in Port Harcourt. 2000. I can see my name there. David, Kevin. I was even answering the English name. Who they kill me? Where they worry me? I did go answer English name. When you can see that I was still in the world. Kevin. With time I carry Kevin, I'm an Izo man. It be my name. Candidate 2014. Buy this Bible. You get deceive myself up and down in the world, going to churches, saying that Jesus Christ is. They get to at a time when man wake up, man got to do the right thing. So today they're going to put an end to all these lies they used to deceive our African people. All this nonsense that they tell our people that we don't own anything, we don't have to own anything on earth, that na heaven our place there. All those lies, all this rubbish has to stop. Burn this goddamn stupid book. Okay, all these are lies. Nothing come out. Useless people use this book to deceive Africans. Burn this shit. Nothing is just useless. Nothing come out here until we burn this book. Problems in Africa, and this is number one of them. Solving number one problem in Africa. This is it.
Bond is rubbish. People are still calling Jesus name. Jesus will not exist. Saying rubbish. Burning off this useless book. People won't die for. Nonsense. Burn it to the whole fucking ground. Burn the fucking Bible. This is a useless Bible they used to deceive Africans. This is a useless Bible. After making my people slaves, give them stupid Bible that they don't, that there are places in heaven. Rubbish. This is what they used to deceive our people. Burn the whole crap. Very good. There are a lot of breeze blowing. Burn the whole shit. One of our problems in Africa, this is it. This is one of our problems in Africa. One of our biggest problems. If God let me come down, I will burn and join. Don't think this fire is enough. Need more.
That's what skin doctrine. That's what skin doctrine causes. You think that's the problem in Africa? You think that that's the problem in Africa when you when you teach half history? This is how come some people have to. That's how come I break it hurts my heart. Y'all want to get out here and it's okay to write books. Y'all, different people and ministers stuff out here. Apologists, it's good to write books, but I'm telling you right now, these dudes are moving and they dropping documentaries and stuff. A lot of people don't even read books. I'm speaking for the stupid people way at the bottom. I know y'all upper middle class folk, y'all smart and y'all do this and do that, but everybody don't have a library of books. A lot of people watch from videos, and this is how people share some of their doctrine, and they're sharing a lot of false history. They're sharing parts of history, and if you leave anything out, you can have a people thinking he's burning the Bible because he think the Bible is the problem in Africa. He think the Bible's been the problem. Now, if he knew more of the history and what individuals have done in the name of the Lord for the continent and worldwide, we have to share worldwide what Bible believers have done for the planet and how they have advanced the planet. But at the same time, we have had, and we cannot act like, and we cannot talk about it, that we have had some bad behavior that's taken place in the name of the Lord. We see it all the time. These wicked leaders want to manipulate. These wicked leaders want to give half of the story. These wicked leaders want to spend something for their own purposes. Let's just put it that way. So everybody's woke now. So everybody know what's going on now. So everybody know the truth that it's the Bible that's causing it. It's the white man that's causing it. We pure than the white man. It's really sin. It's really sin, but it makes a people feel good. A sinful heart, it makes you feel good to hear some stuff. Thank you so much, brother. Look at this, though. Look at this. I want to show y'all something else, and y'all tell me. Brown saying sin, sin, sin. Y'all tell me, what do you think? This is another woke, brother. And this is what it comes down to. Are you going to rock with your nation? Are you going to rock with skin color? No matter what the doctrine is. You're going to rock with your nation, and you're going to rock with skin color and turn down another people based on their complexion. We may have a problem. We may have a serious problem. Let me play a little bit of this, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going back to read my stuff. Because these folk want to talk. So I said, let me just get a couple of these books down here, and let me just start dealing with some of this stuff. Let me get this one right here. I want y'all to see this. Fair use. What's good, Side Netter?
Do is that white man more your brother than I am? No, be for real, be honest. According to the Islam.
You asked me a question.
Yeah.
Let me answer you.
Okay.
Of course, you are my brother. You are not my brother because we share the same faith. You are my brother because we are biologically connected.
Okay.
You look more. Your hair look more like mine.
Oh, your hair look more like mine.
Yeah, that's what makes you my brother.
Okay.
Not a long straight hair can be my brother. Genetics.
All right. So the white man can never be our brother, though.
No.
I don't give a damn if he say Allahu Akbar.
No.
Because we know he ain't for real.
Not only that, let me explain something about religion. Religion is a man creation. It's for people.
My brother, that's right,
for
man.
people who are looking.
That's right.
Religion is for
Let me get that
people-
hand too, man.
Religion is for people who are looking for God. That's why they say they believe in God. When you know God, you don't need no religion.
That's right.
When you say you believe in God, that means you don't know Him.
What if I was to tell you that man created God?
I know that.
Oh,
That's what it is.
there you go, bro.
But you see, you
This is real. This is real right here. He's dropping it, man. God is in you. That's right. Where you from, brother?
I'm from Senegal, West Africa. But most of my people are very fanatical Muslims. Though.
Okay.
If I talk like this at home, they kill me.
You right.
You
But guess
see?
what? You see my Muslim brothers on the side of you?
I
know what? They tell me that the white man is more their brother because they Muslim.
But
I try my best to live a righteous life.
They're confused because they speak a language they don't understand.
And this is part of the problem. A lot of people are offended. A lot of people are. This is some serious warfare. A lot of people are offended. The mere fact that the kingdom of God and the gospel of Jesus Christ is being declared, and that's not what they want. When I thought these were people that wanted the gospel message and the kingdom to be declared. People will tell you it's not about skin, but then the doctrine develops. They start sharing with, and what they start sharing with you is end up being skin doctrine. No matter what that guy doctrine is, no matter what he believes about the Bible, no matter what he believes about God because of his skin color or his nationality, he's my brother, he's my sister. But someone else that lines up with the book, if they're not of that nation, no, you beneath me. You not them people. You not me. It's all a form of skin doctrine that a lot of these folk, not everybody. Remember, over here, we're not dumb enough to broad brush, but a lot of what these people do in this skin doctrine. So they'll ride with anybody. Listen, y'all just getting started right here. And listen to the pseudo-science that's being used to preach and teach this thing. Listen to this, and it's everywhere. We heard it with Nick Cannon and the Patreon. We see it everywhere. Every group that is woke teaches these things. We're basically, listen, we're not that bad of sinners like those other people. We're not like those people. Remember when Jesus gave the story and the man walked in the temple and the he said, Lord, he put his head down and said, Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner. The other guy put his head up, Lord, I'm glad I ain't like him. He said, who do you think is more justified? They using the Bible, but they forgazing you out of the Bible and out of the graces of God and bringing another thing unto you. And it's done so covertly. It's dangerous. Fair you.
Whenever you say, I believe, you are saying at the same time, I don't know. Right. So when you say
What's the Greek word for believe? What's the Greek word for believe? What does the believe mean? What does believe mean translated from when we deal with faith or belief, dealing with trust? What are these people teaching us? What are these people saying? But they know that they sound like they know what they're talking about.
You believe in God, you are saying also you don't know God. And you're supposed to know God because He's your creator. How can someone create you and you not knowing Him? You are accusing God of delinquency. It's like making a baby and running away from the baby.
You got to know these people talking points. Every single one of these folk out here, you got to know these folk talking points. The points that they use, and you got to know that's how the name it and claim it that we see in a lot of these so-called churches. This name it and claim it is prosperity gospel, which is not really a gospel, but this prosperity gospel. It's feeding you what you want. You want that Birkin bag, you want that Benz, you want to be on top of your supervisor, you want to all of these stuff. You want that whatever that worldly fleshly thing is. You want it. You want to name it and you want to claim it. It speaks to your flesh. You'll be surprised how many people are using this book and they're prophesying in the name of the Lord, but they're prophesying to the flesh, from the soulish realm to the flesh and connecting them. And it's all deep on the low. It's all witchcraft. Oh, don't get it confused. They're all manipulating you with words, emotions, and feelings, and a lot of people are going for it.
Now, let me ask you another question. Is there racism in Islam?
Are you kidding me? There's racism. Do you know where they have? You know what is the foundation of the negativity?
Thank you.
Do you know the birth of the negativity of the color black? In the book, the Holy Book. That's where they use the Holy Book to give birth to the negativity of the color black. In the Holy Book, you find there the justification of the negativity of the color black.
Right.
And from there, it propagated all the way to the black man. That's why everything that is black, negative is represented by black color. Everything in society.
This is how come we got to make sure we were teaching this doctrine and we're teaching this thing right out of the book. Some people looking for black everywhere. We got to understand, even when people talking about a pre-Adamic race and, you know, what the Nation of Islam teach, what Phineas Priesthood, a lot of the Christian identity movements teach, that Adam and Eve were the beginning of the European people. Black folk have no beginning. Y'all got to be familiar with these doctrines, and it fits hand in hand with evolution. There were a people. Some people argue, oh, there was a race down here before Satan fell. There was another race. So when you find those bones and those cave writings and all of this other stuff from millions of years ago, those were the other people. Then some people say, listen, because black people have they teach that black people have no beginning. These people already existed. Blacks and Asians existed. Other nations existed on the planet. But until the great being came down here and invented the white race, they evolved humanity further. No, the humanity was nothing until a white man came on the scene. We got to be careful with all of these doctrines, and all of these people are using the book. I'm scared of how folk are handling the book. They're handling it deceitfully, but I'm scared how many people are believing and it's spreading what they're teaching.
Everything. Black.
And see, and we are a spiritual people by nature, not religious.
Not only that. Let me tell you something even deeper than that. Something deeper than that. Do you know why our skin color is black?
Why?
The reason why the so-called curly hair people that they refer to as African, we're not even African. That's the name the white man gave us.
All right.
That's the name white man gave us. There is nothing in the African language that says African. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are only two type of people in this universe: straight hair and curly hair people.
That's right.
And the skin color is a makeup. But the point is, it's only natural when it's in the black skin. This is the natural makeup.
That's right.
Now you heard that? It's only this is how humanity is divided between the good and the evil, the straight hair and the curly hair people. I'm telling y'all, we can't make this stuff up right. Forget what Herodotus and them said about them dark-skinned folk, about Cush. But when he ran into them folk, he says two sets of them: the curly hair, dark ones, and the straight hair, dark ones. But he's going somewhere else with them.
And let me tell you something.
You familiar with
the reason that's my brother.
All right.
Diop, same people, Diop, Dr. Ben, be careful. I tell y'all, be careful when these folk want to just recommend a friend YouTube channel, recommend their books, recommend that pastor, that Morey, that teacher. They run in circles. All them fake name it and claim it, all them fake prophets, they all run together. The fake name it and claim it preachers invite each other because they all in on the scam together. Y'all hear me? All these individual movements are scams moving, and they move together in groups. And this is how they keep individuals in echo chambers.
And let me tell you, the reason why you and I look like this, we are the first reflection of the cosmic order in human form. That's why we are black. That's why we are black.
You got a card on you, brother?
I don't have it, but you know Khalil Muhammad? That was my man.
Okay, break it down. Yeah, I would like for you to do a lecture, man.
All brothers in this country, you know why?
Yeah, hold on for a minute.
Since he died, nobody mentioned his name in no goddamn program.
That's right.
In America. It's like not even him.
Hold up.
That's why I'm a very angry man. I'm the wrong guy to talk to because
You see who
I'm
standing with him, man?
I see.
You want to get that on film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
You asked me.
that's my boy
Turn the
here.
picture around.
That is my boy here. Let me
Who's
tell you
standing
something.
with him? Who's with him?
Oh shit!
Who is that with him? He asked me, do I know Khalid? Yeah.
Oh.
You asked me, do I know Khalid? Look, who's standing with him?
Oh, it's death of no accident. Let me tell
No,
you.
what if I was to tell you
They
that?
kill him.
That's right.
They kill. Let me tell you. You know when I met him? I was the only nigga he gave his home number. I used to be in the UAM, right? Listen, 5 minutes after I met him, he gave me his home number. He live in New Jersey.
You need to listen to him, man. Where you from, brother? All right. Oh, he's from Mali.
No, I'm from Senegal.
Oh, how come? Oh, man, you need to listen to him, man.
That's the
Yeah.
yo, man. I need this picture, boy. That's my man.
You know what my brother asked me? Excuse me, look.
That's my boy.
You know what my brother asked me before? This is my brother. He don't know.
Oh, yeah, I see.
He called me all the way over to him and said, because he seen how I talk to white men. So he said, brother, why you don't like white men? Why you don't like white men?
It's the devil.
Tell him that.
That's why.
Tell him that.
It's the devil. That's why.
See that? And he know that too.
And when I say white man, but you see, people don't understand. When I say white man, it's not the skin color.
Right.
Because now, straight hair. I told you only have two types of people in this universe, brother. Check that out. Curly hair, straight hair. Don't deal about the skin color, because the albino is the whitest man in the world.
There you
but
go.
when you look at him, white tells you he's not white. Hair texture.
That's right.
Hair tells you who you are.
So hair texture separates the righteous from the wicked. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. I'm gonna leave the church folk to figure this one out right here. So hair texture tells the difference. And albinos, like you said, it ain't about skin color, because albinos are light, but they got curly hair, so they're part of the good side. They're part of the righteous. Y'all, I'm gonna just keep playing the video.
Anthony, that's why you always say the white man fear our hair more than straight hair or short hair.
Do you know why your hair? Do you know why your hair is? Do you know why your hair is curly?
Why?
Because nothing in the cosmic order grow in a straight manner. Everything in the cosmic order.
You spinning with the universe. Y'all spinning with the universe. But the white folk ain't tapped into the universe. The straight haired people ain't tapped into the universe.
Move in a spiral manner. Like the rain, the planets spin in a spiral manner.
What have you said? You know Dr. Ben? Well, Dr. Ben was just here. I'm doing an interview.
So y'all know when we start dealing with the straight hair people, y'all know, especially if you go with this theory right here, that straight hair people come in all, you got a lot of different people that have straight hair. You got Mexicans that got straight hair. That's pushing everybody to the side. You see how this doctrine is dangerous?
With Dr. Ben coming up.
What you're talking about is
Now,
very deep.
oh, I'm sorry. I said I was trying to pull something else up. But how do you now, dealing with something like this, how do you share with somebody like this in the barbershop? When you say you got an apologetic, when you got a defense, when you want to speak, or when somebody's sharing something like this, when you get the crazy family member, cousin that comes through and they start telling you stuff like this, then what do? How do you share this? And the crazy thing is, a lot of the confusion came in, a lot of the beef came in because this thing was taught. And because this thing was taught, this is why we came in contact with different communities dealing with this Bible. Because if you are a believer, how do you avoid it altogether, or do you talk about whitewashing and how people have used the Bible throughout slavery to justify a darker hue of people? Now we're in community. Now we're in contact with another community, and this other community is saying the whole thing. Listen. They're teaching that these folk are devils. And it's nothing but satanic behavior that's going to do this. So then what do you do? How do you deal with that? Because other people on the other side, I walked away from that Christianity because y'all ain't talking the truth. Y'all ain't telling this stuff. And I need to pull up a few of those things. Oh, I forget the other brother. I got your email too. You said you emailed that guy. I saw your email this morning. A lot of people said I walked away from Christianity because why? Because the pastor wasn't discussing race. The pastor didn't discuss whitewashing. They never heard of anything being whitewashed until they ran into a different community, until they ran into quote unquote woke folk. So how do you handle that? and not fall into the same trap and go to the opposite. Because most folk, a lot of people that come from the church, they were hearing some of this. They just jump on the other side. All the white folk are wicked. The white man know we the truth, we the original man, and they really the devil, and they trying to use the Bible to hide that from us. And they just flip and jump on the other side and start propagating the same thing that Europeans propagated during slavery. The whole thing has to be taught. And it has to be taught in a balanced way. Now, it hurts me that some people, they would just rather walk away and just say, listen, the skin color doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters, and leave it all alone for the sake of spirituality. Then people would say, listen, this is dishonest the way you're saying it. Then they would go to somebody that's feeding them, that's sharing. How many people know how to teach this in a balanced, fair, truthful manner?
Listen, very deep, very deep. Yeah. If you want to know God, you have to transcend religion. If you stay within religion, you will never know God. You will believe in God. That's right. You will never know Him.
I agree with you, brother.
And if you don't know God, you will never be free. So you believe it.
And this is like the altar call, or the door that's opened to people that's involved in the Bible. When they're going to introduce you to Eastern thought, when they're going to open you up to, there's a lot of truth in all of the books. You have to be open to everything. And this is where the mystical begins. You don't need religion. Deal with the intuition, deal with the inner man, deal with the beings, deal with the ancestors. All books are tampered with. There's a little bit of truth here and there in the books, but you can't really deal with the books. You got to deal with the spirit man. Spirit will connect to spirit. And that's how come we got to be careful. People talking about angels and visions and how did God speak in the past, and do God speak in the same manner? It's a lot happening. And these are things that we often discuss here on this channel. But these are things that are going on out there. And this is the introduction to the spirit realm. You don't need religion. You don't need the Bible. You are a spiritual being, and the ancestors or the spirits will communicate with you.
If you see people who believe in God, they're looking for Him in the far off while they have Him right in front of their nose. That's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Religion. You know what I ask my brothers when they get angry with me? I say, between man and religion, who came first? You see, if man came first, now you tell me. The men who came and left before religion arrived, where would they go? To hell or where would they go? Answer my question now. The people who came before the arrival of religion, they came and left. Where will they go?
Now, he think he's saying something deep right there. I'm going to stop right here. I need the Bible people to help me. What came first? What came first? I need the Bible people to help me right now. I don't care what side of the fence you want. I need the Bible people to help me right now. What came first? Because he think he's saying something deep, and that'll confound the average person. That will confound the average person. Now listen to Thunder. Listen to Prince Hall himself. He said, what was Jesus' religion? Exactly. Before Jesus' religion, there was a religion. So don't get it twisted. Jesus followed the religion of Moses. Before Moses, the Cushites had a religion. Before Moses came on the scene, there was a religion on this planet. What Adam and Eve had was relationship. What the original man had was relationship. And that's so funny, because that's what Christianity say it is. It ain't religion. They say it's a relationship with God, a personal, they call it. That's what they call it. That's what they call it. Christianity take it back to the Garden of Eden, a personal relationship. Then God came down walking in the cool of the day. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is it right here. But what he's saying sound good. What he's saying sound good. And then how do we even answer those questions when people start saying, well, the people before, even when they were arguing on Oprah back in the days and that video went viral, the people that died before Jesus came on the scene, where did they go? Those are all fair questions, but a lot of believers don't know how to work through those answers. Did God write something on mankind's heart? Romans 1, do we see the effects of God? The heavens declare the glory of God. Is there an innate thing inside man? Is there a space in the heart of all human beings to connect with divine, to connect with the Creator?
Go right back to the cosmos.
They can't answer it. Right. Religious people can't answer this. It's too deep. They can't answer that.
That's
because
beautiful.
They are limited in the spectrum of religion. You have to get out of that to know God.
There you go.
If you're caught up in religion, you will never know God. You will believe in God.
That's right.
That's right. I don't know. You see, I don't. You know, at home, if I talk like this, they will kick my ass because
you know why? You got to keep their mind like that.
So back in his country where there's so many Muslims, he already know he can't talk freely like that. So he come to the land of the white man, the straight hair wicked one. He come over here so he can speak freely and reveal to people. Now, if he was connected with deity in the universe, he gonna speak that truth in the midst. He gonna speak that truth over there in his country in the midst of his life being on the line. He'll speak the truth. He'll speak the truth. These people funny.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because of the powers that be.
And let me tell you when was religion invented. When you say religion, before everybody had his own religion. That's what you call polytheism. Everybody, you had your own, you had your own, I had my own. But
everybody had what's polytheism, y'all? I'm getting off this internet. I tell you, my other friends, they don't even, this is just foolishness dealing with down here. What is polytheism? Somebody extreme. What is polytheism? Is polytheism everybody got their own religion? Multiple religions is I can't. I'm good. It's just a lot going on. I need to go read a book and get some sense in my head because these folk got me confused.
1 man only sort of one religion that came up with the idea of monotheism.
Monotheism. Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
In the 18th dynasty.
And when he did that, you know how, when people say it's not true, you know how you catch them? Ask them this question. Can you please tell me why there is this coincidence that all the religions of the world, regardless of their culture and their languages and their nationalities, all end up their prayer with amen.
Amen. Amen. Why? Amen. Right. It all goes back to amen. Right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yo, y'all can't make this stuff up. Does that word even when you're dealing with the mental, that word that even works in English when you say amen? Does that even work in English the way that they're explaining this stuff? You see why people need to get into this stuff? He's trying to trace everything back from the first person when we start dealing with the Egyptian religion, and I don't even want to start talking about them because we can start talking about why these folk heads were shaped this way and they were gods from another planet. They were the children of the Watchers and all of this other stuff. It's a lot going on YouTube. It's a lot going on the streets. It's a lot going on in the barbershop, and there's a lot of people that's claiming, stating, and believing that it's way deeper than the Bible. Oh, there's just hints of it in the Bible, but you got to go beyond the Bible. That's the thing. The church try to keep y'all locked in the Bible. Y'all don't know some stuff deeper deeper than the Bible. And when you begin to vibrate and start resonating with the universe, you'll understand because you'll feel it inside your spirit. You'll feel it on the inside. It resonates within you. You know how much stuff is resonating with people all over the place? How many grown men want little boys because it resonates within them?
I say, do they all have an international conference and decide to end up their prayer as amen? No. It's because all their religion came from that first one. The worshipping of the sun, the God.
So I don't care how much they try to get away from their black self, they always give praises right back to Amen Ra.
Not only that, to close this interview, to tell you this, all humans have one family. And the African, whether they like it or not, is the parents.
Is the what?
The parents. Africans are the parents.
That's right.
I don't care how you look. I don't care how your skin color look. I don't care how your hair look. But now, the question is, how do they explain the mutation? How did the Africoid, like me, became a straight hair, blue-eyed white?
Now, so you see what's popular in the community. Europeans were talking about it when they came in contact with these Africans, how they look so different from us. Look at their hair. Even during some of our what you call it being younger, they would come in contact. There's a lot of people. My sister said when she went to Louisiana to Bible school, them folk ain't never seen no black person in real life. Everybody, she went to Jimmy Swaggart school out there. Everybody wanted to touch her face and touch her hair. They never seen a black person. They seen them on television. They heard about them, but not back then, them hills in Louisiana. They ain't never seen a lot of them in the flesh. They want to touch your hair. We got stories, our grandparents, we got stories of people saying that right now. So now he's saying that all humanity go back to Africa, out of Africa theory and all of that. And what we were discussing yesterday, and people get offended, how did this come up? You know, some people quote endless genealogies and things of that nature, but he's taking us all back. He just went through the whole thing, philosophizing, talking about straight hair, curly hair, all this nonsense. Now he's saying everybody came out of Africa, and now he's saying, how can we understand the differences? Gaia TV, that Gaia streaming thing on the internet, y'all stay away from that stuff, and they ain't got nothing but nonsense for you. It's different UFOs, it's different aliens, it's different gods. There's the tall Aryan ones, they're in charge of the white people down here, and then it's the shorter other ones. Those are the grays, though they're not as advanced as the other ones, but they the ones that made the black people down here. And it's different classes of aliens, and they're connected to the different races that's on the planet. The Mexicans got their own UFOs, their own god beings that's going to take care of them and take them to a world. And everybody got individual universes. So it goes back to the Bible even answer the question on where race comes from. Now, how do we deal with that? Come on, Brown, thank you. How do we deal with that? Do we deal with that in the sense of the Bible doesn't speak to it? The Bible does speak to it, or mutations. People gradually went in different directions, and their skin and their hair adapted and evolved. And these are things that's coming up. We're living in a scientific age, so people are looking to make the Bible speak to these things, even if it doesn't. I'm gonna finish playing the rest of this, and I'm gonna get out of here. I just want to jump on for lunchtime.
How will they engage that now? If they're ready to do that, find me a group of so-called intellect, whatever you want to call them. Tell them you know somebody who is ready to talk to debate this. I will have the answers.
Okay.
I will show them how a black man became white. It's not what said
But
on
I
the
need
job.
to do an
Said
interview
on the job, said on the job, made a mistake. Because you know, when the white man educates you, when you're using his education to do your job, somewhere along you're gonna make a mistake because you are using his own material to do your own work.
I agree.
When he said that because of migration and climatical conditions that the black man became white, that's a fallacy.
Yo, you heard what he said?
Climate.
So he said take anti-Diop was wrong because Diop got an education from Europeans, and that has to be wrong. A little bit of it is okay, but that has to be wrong because it comes from Europeans. So there's a flawed teaching, and it's the perfect teaching. We're not gathering information in science and learning and peer review and studying and this and that, and we're learning and growing as a human family. It's interesting that civilizations that came together, there was a lot of people that mixed and they shared information, and this is how it started to spread throughout the world. It's interesting when we start talking about the Library of Alexandria and all of that stuff like that, that people want to just, the conspiracies, it's crazy out.
Changes skin color. It will burn your skin temporarily, but it will go back. See why you cannot accuse the black man of any racism, of anything? You know why we're not incapable of doing that? We are the first people in the universe, and we have allowed all other kinds to come into existence. If we were racist, we will not allow anything that look different to us that come into existence.
We allowed the white man to come into existence. We allowed Mexicans to come into existence. So we can't be racist. I've heard this in the church too, though. You ain't got no power. How can you be racist? You ain't got. I've heard this from my educated preacher friends now. Don't get it twisted. But listen to him, and people eat. And y'all got to understand, Harlem is different. Harlem is different.
Beautiful. You hear what I'm saying? We are first. If you allow you to exist, don't call me a racist. If I were racist, now you are equating. You say we're all the same. We are not all the same. The reason why I don't want to hear this nonsense of reverse racism, a black person is not a racist. That's a trick. Let me tell you something. We react. We are racist by reaction. The white man is racist by nature. Do you understand the difference?
I can see your point.
No, this is not a point. This is the absolute truth.
There are no absolute.
It is. Oh yes, it is. You know why? You just contradicting yourself. Whenever you have subjective, you have absolute. The subjective is when you don't know and everybody chips in. Yes. I have my subjective point of view, you have yours. But you know what? We are seeking what? The absolute truth.
Let me say looking for the absolute truth. Let me stop right here and y'all see what up next say. Then the Most High separated the nations, Deuteronomy 32, and the Most High separated the nations for a reason, but I guess his plan doesn't matter. What does that mean when it say he separated? See, that's weird. That makes for all good conversation right there up next. Y'all heard what you thumpers heard what up next said, right? So because the Most High separated the nations, what the clan and different people teach is that everybody got to stick with their own kind. It doesn't have to do with who came into. It ain't but two. Let me tell y'all the truth right now. It ain't but two religions. It's the relationship of the Most High God, and it's the religion that come from all of them other beings when he separated the nations. They have spirits, they have principalities over them. Now the question is, has God been redeeming mankind from every nation? That's the question. How can you be born if you're from the other nations? It goes all back to our doctrines and what we deal with. When you go back to those other nations, it's salvation available to those other nations. Deuteronomy 32 is salvation available to those other nations up next. I think that's a fair question. And then we got to go before Israelites came on the scene. And we got to see how those folks married, who they married, even after the Israelites came on the scene, who them folk grabbed and married, or did they disobey the Most High God? The new revelation come with Ezra and them when they wanted to put away their wives, when they were on their way back. It was during the beginning of the Second Temple period. So now we're getting into race and who you can marry. Who is a child of God? It's a lot to talk about. But just whilst we're sharing certain things, look at what these folk out here.
That's why when you say,
I never play that video, thousands will come watch this video. Thousands will repeat it. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
When we find the truth, it will free us all. But it's even wrong. It's right to hate love. You know why? As long as you have emotion. That's why we go. As long as you have emotion, you will love and hate, because that's what you use emotion for.
And like Van Sertima said, back in Jamaica, that was Van Sertima, I think it was to say back in Jamaica, they would be underneath the tree and just talking politics and talking history. And this is what we do. People get together in the marketplace, get together on 125th Street, get together in the beauty parlor, get together on the basketball court, and they're talking religion. They're talking spirituality. So I think that my people in church think a lot of times that the majority of spirituality is discussed in church, but I'm beginning to think something different. We'll meet in church to worship, but religion's being discussed out here. Spirituality is being discussed out here, and people are doing or practicing spiritual things.
That's the purpose of emotion.
The way I live, I try to.
You do not create emotion.
No, I'm not trying
you.
I'm not trying to create emotion. I'm just saying what I'm trying to do is bring positivity to combat the negativity.
What you call positivity in one environment can be perceived as negativity. It's all interpretations. Right. What you call negativity and what I call positivity is all perception in a given environment. It's all nonsense. Let me tell you. Humans are not perfect, period. Humans are not. If you show me a perfect human being and I show you an illusion, perfection is an illusion. There's no such a thing. So whether you like it or not, you will love and hate. You know why? Because you have emotion. Emotion is human. It is human.
Hold on, I got to stop this for a second. Y'all see what's on the screen? I'm let me see how y'all. I want to see a couple of comments. Y'all see what's on the screen? I'm gonna slide this down and I'm gonna look at the answers. Is racism a sin? Is racism a sin? Who can you marry according to the book? Who can you marry according to the book? I'm just throwing, that's one thing I'm just throwing out there. Who can you go in business with according to the book? Who can you partner with according to the book?
Period. As simple as that. But when you talk about God now, when you die and go to God, God has never seen you as such. As you stand here, he has never seen you and he will never see you. You know why? In the divine realm of existence where what we call God dwell, there is no physical existence. There's no physical existence. So God, in front of God, there is no woman and there is no man and there is no two. There is only one. I'm telling you this. This is beyond religion. In front of God. Well, now you believe in religion. Okay.
I don't believe in the dogma. I don't believe in like the man-made institution. I believe in the personal relationship.
Well, who? Jesus?
What?
With Jesus?
No.
Y'all heard it for yourself. She believed in the personal relationship. He said, well, who? Jesus? She said, no. I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Listen, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to read my book and take some notes. It's quiet time for me because it's a lot going on out here. All right, y'all want to hit me, BerenTeach@gmail.com. God bless.